All right, hello and welcome back to another session, a new session. Hold on a second. I got the be right back screen. What should I be doing here? Display? Yeah, display capture. All right. Yeah, hello. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Hope you guys are doing well as always. As I get myself ready. So last session, it's been 4 days. Well, first, let's talk about the 4 days. It's been 4 days. I'm just been a bit busy, right? So over the weekend and stuff like that, focusing on my video. And so on the main channel, did you guys know I got a main channel? It's called Jeff the Ninja without the plays. But yeah. Anyways, let's get right onto this. Episode 4. We just started episode 4 last session. And it's the same situation as before. We have to defend someone that no other British lawyer wants to defend to, because the prosecution is Baroque Van Zeeks, and nobody wants to mess with him, of course. And so we went up to the... Is it the defendant? The culprit? I don't know. The defendant, right? And the defendant is Japanese. And that's coincidentally the main protagonist, native, native tongue, native land, right? Suzato and Naruhodo. And so, Naruhodo, he's a bit iffy because from the last trial, he doesn't want to, like, get right into, defending this man. Because he's a bit, so-so on the British legal system here, and especially what happened, spoilers I guess if you haven't watched. Mr. McGill passed away. He got trapped inside the carriage, right? And we don't know why he was there. We don't know why it burned down for some unexplained reason, but we got introduced to, what's his name, Mr. Gregory? I forgot his name. The inspector guy, Inspector Gregory, I don't remember, but he talks a bit about Baroque, and that it's not people are afraid of it. Well, it's like the reason why people don't defend someone is because even if they do get the defense or the not guilty verdict, they will pass away, the defendant. So is Soseki, our main man, gonna pass away? Who knows? But we're in Mr. Garrett Deb's room here. This is where Soseki was. He was what did I say that he was? What's the word? He was something. He lived here, basically. Soseki lived here for like a week. He joined in on the rent, right? And we found out that Mr. Gary Deb, he and his maid, which is his wife, what's the thing? There was a bit of an accident, right? Because he was reading a book or something like that. His wife found out there was this love letter, not directed to Mr. Gary Deb or Gary Deeb, but she wrecked house. She wrecked house, and apparently there's, I think the reason why this was so important was because I think they were a bit too preoccupied on looking on the night of the stabbing, right? I don't know where to go now. I think we have to go back to Soseki. Give him our answer, right? Yeah, basically. Oh, never mind. We get to stop here in Briar Road. Right, it's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We have to hurry back to the prison. Yes or no? Let's hurry a car. Oh, what's the matter? Hang on a second. I need a... It looks like something's going on over there in the front of the Gary Deb's house. Hold on. Alright, I need like a cough. Got a mute. Oh, who is this? I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Who are you calling an old man, you rum-looking Nimini Pinami? Nimini Pinami. There are more than things in heaven and earth. Horatio? I think that's how they say it, right? Horatio. Than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Who's this Horatio fella, eh? What are you talking about? Or what are you on about? What's Popeye doing here? Popeye the Sailor Man. Excuse me? Eh? What? Who are you? I'm sorry, it's just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Rinosuke Naohodo, is a lawyer, you see. Eh? A lawyer? What? I mean, if I can be any of your help, I'm from Japan, but I've studied English law. Alright. Fine. I'll be on my way for today, but mark my words. This ain't over yet. Do I look like a blooming nun to you? I do hope you're not injured. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle. Thank you. What was that all about? What? Wait, that didn't sound right when I said it. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio. There are more dreams in your philosophy. Alright. I'm not Horatio either. I'm not Horatio. Who's this Horatio guy? Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here in the Garadib residence? Oh, fair Eastern maiden. What you said? Yes, do you dwell in this humble abode? This must be the man. You happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor? Ah, yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy a polemist in my battle of words nearer could there be. Sorry, Bal, did you say? Who is stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night. I see. So I'm assuming this is the other resident? Yeah, residence. That's what it is. I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least. So fair maiden, so good gentleman. I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well. Right, fare thee well. I didn't really understand him, but I think he returned to his room. It seems he's unaware of what happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. Soseki-san and that man has lodgers. There's the word, lodgers. The Garadeb house is certainly full of eccentrics. I think I searched up how to pronounce the Garadeb, or the Garadib, right? I initially called them. But apparently, it's actually an actual Sherlock Holmes story about the 3 Garadibs, whatever it is. And the person in the audiobook I heard called it Garadib. So here we are. There's Soseki, my man. I'm your man, Soseki. I'm your man. Oh, it's you. You're here. You came. Locum student, Mr. Naohodo Esquire. I can't believe you came back. I'm so touched. We are so sorry to kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh no, think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never failing Nipponese. Yeah, I was like trying to think of a good title, right? For this video. Of this part. Hold on, there's something here. Alright, oh, I quite agree. There's nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand... Oh, it's Sherlock Holmes. It is through friendship transcending... Alright, we also heard that... It wasn't even Herlock who got him, was it? I don't remember. It is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly... Oh, maybe it was him. Never mind, we'll find out. Such is my belief, at least. It's you! The miserable rodent spy. Herlock Schlomes. Mr. Schlomes, what are you doing here? Alright, it's Herlock. Alright, I have no intent of doing anything per se, save observing, of course. What do you mean, Mr. Schlomes? Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of the eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how divested friends are faring. Gloomful room. At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is the superior option. True, there is no windows in his room. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been delight and cost me not a penny. Ah, you. How dare you? Herlock Shlomes. Oh, Hairlock Shlomes, sorry. I gotta correct that. This is they're pronouncing it wrong. I've had it, I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. This guy might die. this guy might die. My whole life is be damned. Be damned, he said? Be damned. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? He mentioned that once before, didn't he? His lodgings were cursed, I mean. Oh yeah, what do you mean by that? There is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say, for the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? Yeah, you tell me, what's that supposed to mean? Alright, the cursed trials. Mr. Natsume, what do you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no, why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything about it. Oh, I see. That really agitated him. You don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow? Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey? Reaper? No, what do you mean? Please tell me, summarize this succinctly in 16 salient words. Will I do it? No defendant have survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution, ever. That is, how much is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. There we go. That is 16 words. Oh my goodness. Can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly. Yeah, I may count. Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper, but then, after the trial was over, he finna died. Yeah. The defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. Mr. McGill did. What? I am impressed, Mr. Zato. You have an eye for detail. I need to adjust my mic. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us. Mr. Shlomes. Really can't be that having failed to have the accursed convicted. Lord Van Zieks killed the man himself? Oh no, he couldn't have, surely. I don't think it's Van Zieks. You have some wonderful notions. Sorry. Alright, the man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. Oh, yes. Why, of course he is. Ah, of course he is. Then, why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. Alright, whatever that means. What on earth do you mean by that? Oh. Okay, new stuff. Van Zieks is quite an exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. Ah, that's good. Soseki looks like he's gonna cry tears of joy. As you're no doubt aware, in British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. Makes sense, yeah? It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Right. Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling impostors as witnesses, and so on. By such underhand means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury. Man, I'm struggling, don't worry. Which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. But it means the wrong verdict can be passed. And sadly is, from time to time, my dear madame, it is simply the reality of the situation. And that's alright. However, those indicated by Lord Van Zieks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my. though the adjudication may seem them leave the courtroom with their freedom. Within months, they'll all disappear. It is most striking. Wow, they disappear. But how? Ah, by all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are all trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever, or perhaps attacked by highwaymen. Oh, no, 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 no. All examples of reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo. That's true, but why is this such a coincidence? I wonder. Ah, I knew it. I'm a dead, dodo, done for, doomed. Well, wasn't that great for alliteration there? Alright, how about these lodgings? When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Gaudeb's house, I assume. Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain. But I've only been in London a week before I started noticing strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. Is there something on his back? Please don't tell me. They were all staring at me all the time from dusk till dawn. Please don't tell me there is something on his back. I haven't seen his back. Please don't tell me there's something on his back. So I shut myself away in the room. That's why he's always looking behind his back. But yeah, the fear wouldn't go away. You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time. I've had to move a number of times, most recently to that room on Borough Road a week ago now. Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. It's probably close to the bookstore. The rent is cheap. I have so little money, it appealed to me straight away. Sorry, I was trying, I'm struggling. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late. So I told him, if you have something to say, then say it. If not, don't mention it in the first place. Yes, well said. But it was true. It was all true. You mean the room really is cursed then? Ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole, damn, it's a hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I'm being choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded as a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. Alright, poor guy. If only there was someone, just one person by my side. On my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really? No one at all? Oh, don't worry. To believe? Yes, to believe. Oh, to believe. Mr. Shlomes. Ah, me, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about the case on the SS Bureau, if you recall. The Bureau? The Bureau. Ah, yeah, that case. The one with the snake. Well, yes, at the time I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate. I did I? Interesting. Does this guy not remember? I know he said he like removes all the unnecessary memory, but please. What I want to know is why? Why did you believe me? I see, yes. You mean because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in the locked room? Well, if you like, yes. I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it, but I could have been lying. Sure, you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little. Yeah, I assume he'll say yes here. If he said no, that's BS. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in which you were telling me. Alright, so it's not like he believed in him. He just not assumed. He just thought this guy could have been either the killer or not, basically. What? He didn't really per se believed in him. You see, the only thing I believe in, or the only things I believe in, are those I choose to believe in. What? What do you mean, Mr. Shlomes? Yeah, what do you mean? Do you smoke that pipe too hard? I make up my own mind about what it is to believe and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned. Alright, maybe... Yeah, but I could have betrayed your trust. Ha 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 ha. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse in my opinion. Meaning? Whether or not one should trust another is in the final analysis down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right. He's right. Locum student now, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I'm surprised he's agreeing the guy who put it in here. Whether or not I can believe myself. Alright, never mind. So what I just said like a few times, yeah. Just believe in his, yeah, just always believe. If you're a lawyer, you should always strive for the, or defense, or prosecutor. You should always strive for the verdict that you know, that's the goal, right? That you attend for. If you're a defendant, go for the not guilty, right? If you're a prosecutor, you have to find the guilty. Use by any means necessary, legally. By any means necessary, legally. To get that guilty verdict, right? Well, my dear fellows, it is time we are leaving, I believe. Already? Visiting hours are over. The guide will be here shortly to escort us out. There's a restaurant near here that says excellent trout. Would you care to join me? Oh dear, there's never enough time, is there? Defend the man, Naruhodo. Defend him. Mr. Natsume. If you like, in the trial tomorrow, I'll be happy to represent you. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. As I said, I only experienced the British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What I believe in, or what to believe in. The defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe even. But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else to trust my instinct. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was in many ways made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Alright, we remember Mr. Gary Dave getting burned there. Mr. Zado, yes? Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court? Of course she was going to do it. Absolutely. As I said this morning, I'm your judicial assistant. Yep, your personal judicial assistant. Alright, the courtroom tomorrow. The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind. But it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Shlomes believes in me now too. So it's time. Time that I learn to believe in myself. You gotta believe! Soseki-san has no one. He's all alone, so it's my job to help him to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster. Alright, save it. I have no idea how I'm sending this thing up here. Just save it like this. Save it on top of the first one again. We'll go down with 3 each time. Alright, 20th February, next day, 9:23, pretty early, the Old Bailey. We're in the ant chamber. Well, I never expected this. Who would have thought? We'll be back here again so soon. You're on the study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest card room or card procedures here, we need as much card experience as possible. Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dark, it may as well be his or her one and only time. Could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass. Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Good morning. Oh, he seems a bit red on the eyes. I never noticed that. Is he alright? Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. Yeah, I noticed that as well. The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain. I've heard that expression. Hey Enzo, how's it going? Yeah. Back on it, recording some footage. Alright, so I tried desperately not to wake up early. I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. Alright, do all literary people take things so literary? Alright. My English ain't that great, alright? Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. Alright, I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. Really? Because I can feel tremors in the floor. I can't do this. I can't take it. Although, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, yes. I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by in the corridor. We're gonna see a new card, a jury, I mean. It looked like the opening night of an opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Mr. Zato? I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have no idea. So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence then, isn't it? Alright, don't hide the truth from me. It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Lord Van Zeeks. Is that right, Mrs. Zato? Alright. I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, yes. Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page. Every one. I knew it. Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the... I was going to say the Old Bailey. This is the Bailey. He stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years, 5 years. In fact, until the day before yesterday. Alright, Inspector Gregson. What's going on? Whoops. I just clicked on something that I shouldn't. What's happened? Alright. Okay, never mind. My streamlines disappeared for a second. A brief second. Alright, the trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zeek's return to the courtroom after a long hiatus. Very long one. Alright, Magnus McGilded, he finna went away. Finna passed away. I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's. But we wouldn't have realized the cause having only just arrived in the country. Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon? For what appears to be a mundane murder. Yeah, that's true. He is... was it? Van Zeeks was looking for, you know, like the big people, right? The big wigs. Like Mr. McGill did, but why this case? Seems so insignificant for Mr. Van Zeeks. Alright, that's how the papers are describing it, though. Well, lest we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. Alright, but there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago. Is there? I agree. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. It's you, me? Well, I suppose that's true. Both times, it is you who stand against this legendary prosecutor. Makes sense. It can only be that you're friends with the Reaper. Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. I'm afraid that there's only really one only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck. Thanks for that. I don't think it's bad luck, but yeah, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive. Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student new to London, with little in the way of experience or skills or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end. I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naohodo Esquire. You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we'll always be on your side. Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant, Miss Mikotoba Esquire S. That's a first. I am in your debt. Forever. I should never forget. Oh, never mind. I actually couldn't. Counsel for the defense. Alright, the court is in session. Kindly make your way to the courtroom. Alright, here we go. Alright then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go. Oh, yes. Yes. Alright, yeah, this guy's gonna die as well, ain't it? This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. My second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I believe in my client to the last. Just like you believe in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. Alright. Alright. Getting right into it. I need a drink. I'll put it on the autoplay. Alright, it's Dracula here. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. Alright, second time here. Will we get the not guilty verdict once again? The Nipponese are truly fascinating breed. Sorry, what? Lord Stronghad has told me all about you. That you were a student who arrived in London, but 2 days ago, a mere amateur. Do you have a point? Being a compatriot, you felt compelled to try and help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance. Did Mr. Stronghad told you that my friend died? Midway to the thing? Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description. Desire-san. After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. Yeah, and sadly he passed away. But it was a bit of a controversy. Very true, and most fascinating, if dark, trial it was too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted, and his unfortunate violent end. Alright, yeah, it's a new set of people. Hey, it's Mr. Fairplay. He's in the jury. He was in the last case. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? Yeah, juror number 1. That's Mr. Fairplay. You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone. Alright, juror number 2. Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear. Oh, well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. Oh, juror number 4 is, Mr. Gary Deb's, wife. It's Mrs. Gary Deb. I'm free to say, I think it's quite possible the mustachio foreigner did the deed. Oh, crack. It's Pluto from Popeye. Is that his name, Pluto? Come on, what are you waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway. Is his name Pluto? Hold on a sec. Alright, didn't catch that. Juror number 6 seems to be like an old person each time. Alright, very well, let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zeeks. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from the same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. While our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, this student is accused of a most sinister act. Damn, right into the right into the candles. All the lights. of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who's doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime? I'll tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody oath they are. Just look at that shallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese. Man, that's a bit... that's a bit prejudice. And stereotypical, I would say. Come on now. Let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Alright, sorry I didn't quite catch that. Oh, guy. Do you think he might... do you think Joe number 6 might hear this whole case? Who knows? Pray forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hallowed chalice in this great chamber. He's gonna smash more about this. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand. Ew. Very well. Bailiff. Lead the inspector in, please. Oh, it's the inspector. What's his name? Gregory. What is his name? I'm gonna mess it up here. Your name and occupation, please. Let's find out. Oh, it's Gregson. Oh my god. It's not even Gregory. Yes, sir. I got Tobias Gregson. Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard. Completely forgot. I was close, though. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? Alright, the victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. Beg your pardon? Inspector thought to be. Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. What? Because they don't even know who she is for sure. Comatose. I see. But her life is not in danger. Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray, elaborate on the details, Inspector. Alright, sir. If I could ask everyone to look at this street map. Alright, the map is in play here. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Rare Road, a wide thoroughfare. A horse, drawn vehicles. Alright, there she is, I think. It had not long since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Oh. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. There he is, our defendant, Soseki Natsume. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please. The case file has been entered in the courtroom record. I don't know why I said that. What of the weapon? I think that's because I'm too focused on reading. What of the weapon that was used? Sir, I have that here. Oh, there's the weapon. It was removed from the victim's back. It's I was going to say a switchblade. Is that what you say? It might be just a regular pocket knife. Must be a bit larger than that. Even the scragged looking Soseki-san, I suppose. I guess it is a common... Oh, a jackknife. There we go. A common or garden jackknife, I would say. Rather nondescript. Or nondescript? Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. Alright, we could examine that. We got some cord. We got some evidence. We got some evidence. Now then, what do you know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have had anything much worth pinching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, I was looking at some deep-seated resentment toward the victim. I don't think so. I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, didn't appear to get how much. But at the moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim. Yes. Alright. Nosuke here is theft and grievance. And wait, if theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrest the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way. Alright, alright. Whoa. Whoa. Van Zeeks, he just like flinged the bottle, yeah, into the gallery. Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle. This is new. I didn't expect him to yeet the bottle behind him. But your words have soured its hollowed bouquet. Or banquet. Bouquet. But it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here. What? Scotland Yard. I thought it said Scotland for some reason. Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. I mean, I'm pretty sure Mr. Sherlock Sholmes arrested him, but who knows? Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the Nipponese student. Constabulary? It's like constable. Constabulary. Is that how you say it? I don't know. Don't worry, man. These guys are more British than me. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred. I skipped a bit too hard there. It was 5 o'clock and there was unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good and there was no one else about the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from the bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found out the bloke to arrest him. That's pretty simple. I don't think there's any contradictions now. Yeah, yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime taken immediately after the incident. Yeah, there she is. I can clearly see the books to which you are referring to. I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector. Alright. You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat. Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Well, forgive me, Lord Van Zeeks, but the defendant is not denying everything as you put it. What are you doing, Mr. Zato? Do go on. Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, now you mention it. When we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened. Yeah, he ran to her. Alright, we're getting a bit of flashback. As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, oh, she got stabbed. Seems similar to the first case, actually, of the game. The first, first case. I was terrified and I had to get away, so I ran as fast as my legs would carry me. My cursed lodgings. Huh. A green overcoat. Well, that's exactly what the woman in the print is wearing. Oh my, a photographic print in full color. What would the world come up with next? Alright, damn. The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of the terrifying incident. Alright, here it goes, here it comes. That does not mean that he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back. And say, oh, don't worry, you fool. There was nobody else there at the time, just the two of them. The victim and the accused. Yeah, I was gonna say, oh, he's got fingerprints, but yeah, we're in the past here. We're in the, in the 1900s. In other words, there's nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. In fact, or a fact that the accused could see. Yeah, makes sense. I don't think they have forensics back then. It seems the cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please. Oh no. My lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Got any ideas? As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred and there was unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good and there was no one else but the victim. Alright, let's press, let's press. Are you able to state that with any certainty? Quite simply, my learned friend. Because that is what the witnesses to the crime have told us. Ah yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he? You'll bring them to the stand then. That's right, one of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard. That is correct, ma'am. Oh, damn. So we must hear their testimony. Prosecution will, of course, call them to the stand. Should it be necessary. But, wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the middle of the winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog may be, no one could have seen... I'm aware of the situation on your tiny island in the east, but we have lanterns. Or post lamps is what they call it. Yeah, by gas street lights. Never mind, they're street lights. Why did I say post lamps? Street lights? Street lamps? Post lamp. I don't know. I'm on something. Never mind, yeah. Which means we really need to hear those witnesses' statement. If I could get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to... Alright. It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with the testimony, Inspector. Alright, out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. Hold it! I guess we press on. From behind, you say? That's right, as you can see from this print. Yeah, quite so, Inspector. What if this is her front? The handle of the weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. Maybe we should examine our evidence as well after this. Miss Green remains in critical condition, comatose no less. Alright, I'm afraid so, my lord, yes. She's being treated at Bart's. Alright, I was hopeful that she'd come around before the trial started so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be. Yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of events. You know what? I assume that, maybe the knife doesn't have blood on it. Who knows? Let me check our evidence here. And let's not press, square. Alright, this is the knife in question. Let's examine. Oh, it's blunt. Oh, look here, Mr. Naruhodo, just at the tip. Small piece of the blade, it seems to be missing. You're right. Well spotted, Mrs. Otto. I wonder what could have happened to it. It might be inside her, sadly. You don't think it could still be lodged in the victim, do you? Oh dear, I do hope not. That sounds terribly painful. Is that it? Yeah, there's nothing else on this knife. Does this close it back? Yeah. Alright, let's just open it. Alright. Magnifying glass. Alright, let's oh, here goes. Secondhand receipt. Mr. Natsume. What did it say here? Following a stab wound to the back. Royal beat. Or royal bead. Victim remains unconscious. The assailant was seen running away. Alright. We'll just continue pressing. He ran off scamming his belongings. Alright. Mr. Natsume belongings. I think you find it all there in the photographic print of the crime scene. Will we? Yes, 3 books on the floor. Are they all the books? That's right, secondhand books they were. Irreparably damaged after falling in the snow, of course. Alright, I think we might have to magnify that. The accused could have easily have carried all 3 books in one hand. Which means his other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example. He's very clever, isn't he? What do you mean? He made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume had his hand full with his books. He managed to close the one avenue as escape we might have before we even knew it was there. Makes sense, yeah. He was like, yeah, you might hold 3 books. That's enough books to hold in one hand. Yeah. Okay. Let's take an examine on the books here. Maybe it's a contradiction. Alright. Can we even examine the books? Let's find out. I don't think you can. The sum of 2 shillings of the picture of Monsieur Lecoq, a meal of the Garreau, Canterbury yearnings. Garreau? Alright, there's been a number of old books he just bought. Alright. The defendant apparently visited a second-hand book on a daily basis, yeah? Yeah, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature. I commit the accused. Maybe there is no contradiction. We just have to press on every statement here. Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector? Well, if I must, I have to ask you to look on it. Alright, he's gonna draw where the thing is. Where is the... Alright, here it is. Bob and Books. Close to second-hand bookshop, the accused lodgings is the place here, Bob and Books. Little place on the corner of Barbera Road and Mearsham Street. Yeah, as it happens, the accused is currently living in the lodgings on the other side. At the opposite end, which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken home. Went up and down. Yep. Something like this. Got updated. I think that's more we need to know. Maybe we'll press on here. Who knows? I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop. Now, Hodo, I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance. Yes, I agree. The most important point that the inspector just made beginning... the location, right? The crucial detail in what you just told the court inspector is the location of the bookshop. I couldn't agree more. So, where is it exactly? Huh? Are you winding me up, Sunshine? I just explained that. I got the map out and everything. Used red blooming ink and drew the bloke's route home on for you. I distinctly remember seeing you nod along, Counsel. Oh, yes, of course. Must be so nervous I didn't take it in. Yeah, alright. The blunder of the day goes to you, my learned friend. Oh, no, not yet. Trial only just begun after all. Wait, I would strongly advise you to look carefully through the court record at this stage. Wait, what is it with this? Name? What was the last thing he said? A book? Oh, hold on. Ah, it's a different... Ah, there we go. Your books. He doesn't go to Bob and Books. I found out. I got him. There's the contradiction here. Objection. Oh no. Oh no. Let's consider the implications. Oh. Maybe I should have examined the your books first. Nothing strikes me about it. Maybe I should press on the statement again, actually. Alright, hold on. Well, there goes my my streak. I'm making this perfect. Wait. Present? Do not hit this. Alright, we can't examine it. So, we just do the press. We speed it up. And it'll be the, is the book name, right? Alright, this is it. This is the contradiction. He didn't go to Bourbon Books. He went to Yaw. Alright. Is the bookshop's name? Yeah, there we go. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor? Alright, here it is. There we go. Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to the formal testimony? There we go. There was the mistake. I believe it may be vital important. Maybe. Oh, well, you know. I mean, yes. It could be a very important clue. It is an important clue. Okay. Now we could present that. Yes, my lord, whatever you say. Could the man be any more sardonic? Alright, I was on his way. Bourbon Books. There we go. Present the book receipt. If I could stop you there, Inspector Gregson. What is this, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know? This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and the details the purchase of 3 second-hand books. And you found that in the accused room, did you? Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it. Go on. This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books. Your Books. Y-O-R-E, I presume. Yes, my lord. Does he go there? Is he familiar? So Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books. There we go. Eh? What? Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop? Yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it. Whoa, but in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it. Whoa, easy down, Van Zieks. Yes, for what difference it makes. Whether the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. Or does it? I disagree. I mean, after all, I have the street map here, if it might be of help. Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. Do we know where your Books is? If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, yeah, he could have gone there, yeah, then yes. He would have most certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, your Books, it may as well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all. Could that be true? My, it rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility. Isn't that right, Mr. Larso, what you just said? Absolutely, it absolutely could be right. And this is on like the left side of the... it's probably like the left side. Where is this Your Books establishment? Well, we looked into it. Turns out that Your Books... Oh, it's just here on the next corner of Meerschaum Street going east. So he could have gone round and meet up around the corner. And there you have it. As you clearly see now. Oh. Never mind. My learned Nipponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown. The way he regals us with such witticism. Alright, maybe he did return back, but who knows? To your future career in the circus. You put that glass down now, I'll put it down for you. I didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here we go. If the accused was coming home from Your Books instead of Bourbon Books, there's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed. Or he could have gone the other way. Come on, guys. Hey, hold on. Can't rule out the possibility he went the other way. Alright, Van Zieks is... Alright, allow me to reiterate from my learned, if somewhat slow, Nipponese friend. I'm crushed it. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. Ah. As I suspect, you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try. What did I say, eh? I had enough of this now. Beg your pardon? Terribly sorry, but what would you mind repeating that? Mr. Naruhodo, we mustn't give up. Oh, what do you mean? If the prosecution assertion is correct, the members of the jury may as well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty. Ah, he's absolutely right. We must think. We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully. The claims Soseki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from Your Books, but... yeah, raise the objection. The assertion just made by the prosecution, fundamentally flawed. Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. We returned from Your Books to his lodgings. Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places, yes. He could have gone the... yes, that's right. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodges without passing the location where the victim was attacked. Alright. Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way round. The long way round. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home? Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words... oh no, don't tell me I lose a point here. Lose a life.
Objection.
Oh no, alright. But, aha, yes, I've got it. Also, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home. I've already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection. Oh, no. That's right. As I said, the bloke seemed to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly. Wandering aimlessly from A to B. But there was no exception. He says he doesn't remember what he was or which route he took home. Am I gonna get hit? I don't believe this. Getting smacked onto the back there. Alright, we didn't lose a life though. I thank you, my learned friend. I suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around the subject. Wait, what do you say your insightful jurors? What say you insightful jurors? Alright, bud. Let's take a sip of water here. Oh, hold it. You agree wholeheartedly in every way. What? I don't believe it. Does this mean? Alright, don't worry. We gotta do another... What's it called? I don't remember. I forgot what the procedure is called after this. Very well, in that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty! Guilty! Guilty!
Oh, damn, he's quite the... Juror number 5's quite got the... soft voice. Alright, you know what that means when this happens. It would appear the jury's leaning is unanimous. Alright, it's time to do the old same. All same. Your brave resolve, you serve Queen and country admirably. Mr. Naohodo. No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I have to tip the balance of the scales the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow. Alright, those are the eyes of Quarry, not yet willing to give up and die. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial? Rights of the defense written into antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago. Call it antiquated if you will, but it's still on there, yeah. Prerogative, if the defense prerogative to carry out a summation examination, yeah, there we go, if so chooses. A summation. Summation examination. Summation. Alright, we're going for this summation examination. Here we go. I am all too familiar with our Nipponese whippersnapper and his uncouth refusal to throw away in his alley. Alright, everyone know, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will explain on what grounds you have determined that the defendant to be guilty. Does this happen twice? Do I only have it once? Alright. Seems like it always happens in the beginning, though. Juror's contentions. Here we go. For pity's sake, the little Nipponese oddity already admitted himself, didn't he? If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why can only have been the victim? The man wouldn't have gone around in the house on his way back from the bookshop, not in the winter. That makes sense. So, the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing. Sorry. Oh, your books. Yes, nice shop, Dad. The bourbon books? Huh. No, not worth a visit. Alright. We've got some... Alright, we've got some interesting candidates here. The reasoning for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear. Where the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. Alright. Whoop. I was gonna, like, cough there. Jeez. Cough uncontrollably. Has admitted to seeing the victim in green overcoat sinking to the ground. Yeah. But he said he wanted to overtake. I wonder what could be the problem here? I would have ample grounds to convict this man already. Oh dear, even the judge appears convinced to Mr. Natsume's guilt now. Ugh. Why did I have to run away like that? How are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense? Mr. Naruhodo, this is no time for grumbling. If you want to force the trial to continue... Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their minds. Follow them, Elise. Alright, forge forward. Let's see. Let's see the summation examination. Come on, Inosuke, you can do it. Let's take it. Take it to the stand here. Jury examination. The defense rebuttal. Alright, the little Nipponese oddity already admitted himself, didn't he? Alright, let's continue on. If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why it can only have been... why it can only have been the victim? Whoa, what if it's like another woman? That might be true. Wouldn't have gone the wrong way, none the winter. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. Huh. This one seems a bit more harder than last time here. Alright, let's see what we got. Alright, he said he already admitted himself. If he said that the woman collapsed, why it can only be the victim? Is that it? 1 and 2? The man had gone around. That doesn't make sense. He was attacked behind. I really don't care. Alright, let's go for 1 and 2. Is that it? Yeah, he already admitted it, didn't he? If he said that the woman in green collapsed before his eye, why it can only be the victim? Or maybe it's 2 and 4. If he said the woman in green collapsed, why can it only be the victim? Alright. Let me go back here. I'll start with 2 and 4 here. I'll start with 2 and 4. Whoops. Wrong controls here. Alright, let's pit it. Is it 2 and 4?
Objection.
Nope, it's wrong. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, that's not good. Maybe it's 2. Maybe it's 2 and 1. Sorry, but as a former of the jury, I have to object. That's complete nonsense. Alright. I'm a banker, don't forget, an educated man. There's no contradiction as far as I can see. Alright. This is getting a bit... Man, you can tell this is blind. There was nothing whimsical about it. Very important to listen carefully. You can decide where the contradictions really lie. What's the contradiction? Is it 1 and 2? None the winter. Man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, none in the winter. Maybe it's this. Your books and 3. Oh god. I don't know. Is it 1 and 2? Alright, go back. Man wouldn't have gone around the houses all the way from the bookshop. Is it 3 and 5? 3 and 6?
Objection.
Oh no, it's disaster. It's disaster. I don't even know. No. Okay, let me... This is not good. I didn't see a contradiction. That's the sad part. He already admitted it himself. That's true. If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why could it... Maybe it's 1 and 2. I should have done 1 and 2. If it's not 1 and 2, I'm crying.
Objection.
Oh boy.
Hold it.
Not good. Not good. Oh boy. Oh god, we gotta save it. We gotta save it. I'm playing life on edge here now. Alright, I have to save it. I have to save it. We gotta... I'm so confused. What? Alright. I got 1 shot now. I got 1 shot. And I have no idea what it could be. Oh, wait, I could press. Oh, fucking hell. Forgot you could do that. All right.
Hold it!
Let's press. Excuse me, but aren't you... Yeah, that's right. I was in the witness stand myself. You could press. Jesus Christ, I'm an idiot. I have a feeling I know your face, or the side of it anyway. If you remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you? That's correct. After the gold rushed down under, I came back to London to work. And it was all going swimmingly until you started fossicking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute. Sorry? Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You had me and that young hatter pegged as criminals. Oh, well, you know, water under the bridge. Now there's all sort of rumors buzzing around, and the police have been badgering me non-stop. Alright, damn, we made this guy's life worse. If only I could turn back the clock. I don't know about the hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. Alright. And free to make up my own mind about who's guilty or who isn't. Alright, thank goodness. Oh, I should have pressed. What am I thinking? Kind of forgot. Alright, juror number 2. You saved the woman green. Let's press. Let's press.
Hold it!
Let's press. Let's press all the statements. You're right about the time of the incident. The defendant admits of having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him. Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly, that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly, the funny little Nipponese man with the disturbing mustache is the criminal. But let's not forget, madame, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman. Well, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man's obviously a livid-faced coward, honestly. Claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes. If that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more credible? Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes through your funny little minds? I could tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now. You wouldn't like it. Hey, he's got some fighting words in his head, eh? As you declare, the man has already made the admission. Secondly, all these British people are pretty prejudiced, aren't they? Surely stated that nobody else was around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. Wait. If no one else could have done it, the accused, Mr. Bean the man, really could be more simple. Alright, it's compelling to the simplicity, I must admit. Oh my, you are too kind, my lord. That went well for her. Maybe there isn't nothing. Alright, I'm pressing. I'm pressing everything. The man wouldn't go, not in the winter. Makes sense. You can't deny that there's other routes Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books. Ah yes, like he drew on the map, you mean. What was it? Calabash Road or something? Precisely. But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fella actually went that way or not. Well, yes, that's true. Now at that moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there? Well, yes, that's true as well. And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he? Well, yes, that's annoyingly true. Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you want to get home as quickly as possible. That is true. Well, yes. Why is all this true? So really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went home along Briar Road. Ah, I'm supposed to be convincing you here. I've given it a lot of thought, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim that he did. I mean, if there was some logical reasoning why he might have gone the Cabbalish Road way, it'll be different. I'll be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honestly, I would. And the reason why Soseki-san might have taken the long way home. Alright, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway this young man's opinion without one. Alright, he's number 1. 100%. We've got to pit it against one of these statements. Alright, I'll skip number 4. Alright, let's do number 5 here. He doesn't really have a conclusive. A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes. Wait. Did I just repeat myself? This will take as long as it takes. No. Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family's. Ah. The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat. I need to do the wife and kids. Oh, I see. I mean, it must be very hard. I got to go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left, right, and center. After cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it, and it's a hard slog from dawn to dusk. So you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident, weren't you? Oh. Hold on, that's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just round the corner from where it all happened. By that old bookshop it was. What? Another coincidence. That's it. That's right. Meerschaum Street it was. Meerschaum Street. On the map now, Huddle. There are only 3 named streets. Yeah, please. Journal number 5. I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please. What's the point in that? Can we get this business over there? Please, sir. It's important. Alright, I'll do it. On the day it happened, I was digging up Meerschaum Street from dawn to dusk. Hey, let's save it. I gotta save it. I'm sorry, guys. Because we just wasted like 3 of them. So haphazardly. It's...
Objection.
There we go. We got 1. These 2 statements are clearly at odds with each other. At odds, cancel? Explain yourself. Please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear. Oh, guy. Huh? What? I just wanted to get this done and dusted. Well, juror number 3. Oh, me, sir? Whoa, what do you mean? Alright, I'm gonna... autoplay it a bit here. Get some order. Alright, purchase a number... No, alright, on the same day. We know that the works being carried out on Meerschaum Street making it impassable. Which means the defender route home could have not taken him along Meerschaum Street and down Briar Road. Oh yes, of course. What do you think, sir? Well, yes, you can't argue with that, really, can you? We must have had good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way. So the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings. There we go, kind of argue that. I suppose that must be right, eh? Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone round the houses on his way back from the bookshop, but we see now that he had no choice. Yes. Sorry. My lord, Mr. Judge. Sir, if I may. Yes. I don't think in all good conscience I can say the man's guilty now. Good stuff, juror number 3. Yes, I'd like to see the trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. What does number 5 say? What does he say? What about you, sir? Who, me? Well... Alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should be filled in. That's what I say. Good head on this guy's shoulders. Alright, now we need to sway the vote again. Another 2. Oh, well done, Mr. Nahada. That was wonderful. Well, we managed to change a couple of minds at least. We strengthened our position somewhat. Yes, and we'll prompt the other members of the jury to consider their stance as well. Alright. Now, if only... If we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy, that would have made... Yeah. Might be able to tip the balance completely. That's exactly what I have to do. Van Zieks is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent by whatever means we have at our disposal. Thank you, counsel. On with the summation examination, please. Yes, my lord. Alright. Let's go to number 4 here. We've met. What if this matter, young man? You're the wife of Mr. Garadib. Or Mr. Garadeb, aren't you? The landlord who... I think it's Mr. Garadib. Or Deb. I don't even know. I will say Deb. The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume his room. Mr. Garadeb. The master's wife. Where do you get the ideas, sir? I'm the maid. The maid, you understand? It's keeping up the charade. Ugh. This is going to be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you've been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean. Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice. Makes sense. I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume. The defendant takes lodging in your master house, doesn't he? Yes, that's right. Although he's only been in a little over a week now. And in that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this? Oh, goodness me. Yes, he's just a sod. What? Spending all his time in the dark and dingy room, twirling that unscrupulous mustache. The man never speaks. And don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something. Jeez. Oh dear, poor Mr. Natsume. How can people say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm. Nothing more. Well, if you just call him a worm, so. Anyway, I better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She said enough damning things already. Alright, so it's not a number. Alright. Your books. No, juror number 6, what you got?
Hold it!
Huh? Sorry? Hold it, you say? Hold what? I said hold it. What I said was hold it. What I wanted to ask you was, do you visit your books often? I like the old books they have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day. Including the day you were talking about. Ah, and what time did you visit your books on the day in question? Yeah, he wears a green coat as well. I think I found out. The next discrepancy. Alright, it would have been 5 before I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you were talking about. Just before 5, you say. Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time? Oh yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry. Not after the dreadful time I had. What do you mean? Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on ice and donked my head. Oh, it's always worst after the snow stopped falling, and that's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. Damn, poor guy. I really thought my number was up. Wait, let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road? That's right, I lived in Compipe, you see. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books. Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may as well be extremely significant. Huh? Sorry? It's extremely sick. No, I'm quite alright now. Alright. You changed 2 of the jurors' mind, Miss Naruto. Alright, 2 months ago. I've got it. Don't you worry, Suzaru-san. Wish I knew how to do a Suzaru takedown. I suppose words would have to suffice for now. Alright. Let me save just in case, though. This is the troubles. This is what happens when you play Ace Attorney and you just lose all your life. Alright. I think, yep, is this? 2 and 6.
Objection!
Very correct. Those 2 statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning. Flaw? What are you talking about, counsel? Well, juror number 2? Juror number 6? Whatever do you mean, sir? I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you. Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There's at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defender's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of second-hand titles. He then returned home on foot. The man says he has no recollection of his return. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna auto a bit.
Objection!
Alright, can we be really sure of that, man? Alright. He's wearing a green overcoat, fell over. Oh my. Alright, Joe number 1's caught on. My goodness, you mean? That's right, I'm referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6. Are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat whom the defender saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman at the end of the bench here with me today? That is entirely possible, yes. It's a good coincidence, ain't it? After all, the old man. Yeah, has somewhat a similar build to the victim. But look at that. My goodness me. Huh? Sorry? You need to pee? Oh, guy. And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell. On Calabish Road. Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapse in front of him was in fact Juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. If that's true, then clearly the crime scene on Brer Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home. Oh my. If you have been so daft as to be roaming about there, we have boxed this off hours ago. And really, what were you thinking wearing such a befuddled coat? What did you say to me? Is there a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days, huh? Is there a crime to slip over on ice? Is there a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat, is it? Hold it. Alright. Juror number 2. My lord, I do hope it won't cause any convenience, but you like to change your leaning, I presume? I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty. Yatta. I would too. What? Is there a crime to change your mind? Is it? Man, he gets angry. Well. Oh, he's back to his normal self. Don't worry about that. Well, that's some summation examination has concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The A's 2, the no's 4. So the no's have it. Not guilty, they say. Which means we have no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue. Well. Oh, crushed it. Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hollowed chalice moments after raising an objection? Going to crush it in disgust? Pray, forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks, please. It seems I must retract my earlier remark. What do you mean? I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Now they're dumb. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer. Whatever do you mean?
Objection.
I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I said is the truth. Yeah, I just used the juror stuff as well. Juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road, as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you have excavated, sir. That's right, it took me the whole day and they paid me a measly tuppence for it, poor guy. Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents? Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no. 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters. Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all. In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Huh? Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no. And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works? I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. No coaches would have had a hope of passing anyway, and we just turned any gentlefolk back when they came. Kids just jump right over us all the time. Kid, yeah, this is an old... he's not old. How old is he? How old is Soseki? Yo, he's 33. You think a 33-year-old man's gonna jump? You know what they say when you turn 30? Like a sneeze could kill you. A sneeze could break your back. Alright. Is it true? Is it? It ain't. It ain't. It ain't, please. Van Zeeks, please. Cold man, you can talk. You said that around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabish Road. Great, was there suspicious? Whoa. Suspicious? What's wrong with me, man? Looking Nipponese behind you at the time. Suspicious. Can't say I can remember. You don't remember? Well, you got knocked out, right? How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it. Ah. Ah, no. Mount. Order, order. Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself. My lord. If you had such a trenchant... Was it? Trenchant? Let me see that. How do you pronounce that? Trenchant. Trenchant. Alright. Trench and then chunt. Trenchant. Argument up your sleeve. I didn't even read the definition. Why in the word did you not proffer it during the summation examination? Huh. I want to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I want him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. Ugh. My hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel. Well, he took off the cape, so he's, you know, he's serious now. It's over. Alright, what are you talking about? My lord. Call the witness. Yeah, permission to call its next witness to the stand. There we go. Good stuff. We want that. Bailiff. It's the next witness. It's now Hodo. Do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident. Yeah, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less. I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness. Alright, no matter who Van Zeeks bring to the stand as his witness, and no matter what they say, I believe in Soseki-san. I know he's innocent. I'll keep believing to the very end, until the battle's over. Is it to be continued? I hope so. Nope. We'll continue on. Oh. He's a very drowsy looking policeman. I didn't expect a woman. 2 witnesses. I didn't expect them to bring both witnesses, actually, is what I was going to say. Alright. Are they siblings? It looks like a Constable Royal Beats, sir. Nothing to report on the street, sir. Man, he's a bit drowsy, isn't he? And I'm Mrs. Oh, Mrs. Beat. Oh, you know, his wife. Yeah, I thought they could have been siblings. Still the last name. Patricia is her name. I'm proud to say I'm this young town's hero's wife. So the Mrs. is here. The couple. The couple here. What's the story here? Well, in truth, we've not been married long ago. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day. Alright, Royal looks like he needs some sleep, man. No, it was your husband I was asking. He seems tired. Highly surprising. Yeah, whilst being an honorable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world. Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually. Yeah, from Gregson. Indeed, apart from rare days off, our gallant officers trudged some 20 miles a day. Yeah. We've heard that before. Patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check that meters are reading true. Whoa. Meter. What's wrong with me? They're responsible for keeping the streets clean and lighting and extinguishing our street lamps. What? Street light? What did I just say? There are a number of items on our list that doesn't sound much like policing duties at all. I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet. I have collapsed long ago. It goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. While the London Bobby is a man of honor. And a man of slumber. On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction, and they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beat? That's correct, sir. Isn't that Royal? Isn't it Royal Beat? Or Royal... Yeah, Royal Beat. Constable Royal Beat, sir! Nothing to report on the street, sir. What a great witness he's going to be. Very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You would now tell the card exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the incident. Yes, sir. Wingardium Leviosa. Alright, it's both of them. What the witnesses saw. It was our wedding anniversary and Royal was taking me out for a meal. Roly. Oh, it might be Roly Beat. Roly Poly, Roly, right? Then Royal. Oh, what did I just say? Roly. There was no time to change after work. Anyways, two silhouettes appear out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor, and the other scattered something before running off. We ran straight, of course, and then we went for help at a nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Roly and I both saw him that day. Roly Beat and Patricia Beat. Roly Beat? Or Roly Bait? Roly Beat. I'm gonna say Roly Beat. Oh dear, this policeman and his wife are claimed to have positively identified Mr. Natsume on the scene. If the testimony is true, yeah, that's JJ's. But ain't GG's. Because the alternative was never viable in the first place. One unfortunate for chancing. And on your wedding anniversary too. Oh, I know, but I still managed to go out for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that. Gosh, the life of a London Bobby sounds very hard indeed. Indeed, however. This cross-examination will be over in minutes. May as well have time to rest this afternoon. What do you mean by that? I learned friend, the witness saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. Did they? They are testifying under oath that is, without a doubt, the accused Mr. Soseki Natsume. And one of these witnesses is a policeman, no less. So you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure. Except that the man's so tired, his wife has to do all the talking. Yeah. Enough preamble. Counsel for the defense commence the cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Alright, let's go from the top. It was a wedding anniversary and Roly was talking... yeah. Anyways, two silhouettes appear. Alright. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor. Alright, press on this. Scatter something. What do you mean by that? Make out what it was. Then again, we were closer when we realized what it was. Didn't we, darling? Oh, what? Yeah, yes, that's right. It was some old books. I see, old books. It's pretty insightful for someone who's drowsy. Yes, sir. The court is dropping the number of them all around where the victim laid on the pavement. Indeed. That's clearly pictured in the photographic print. That wrong Japanese man did what he did with the deed. What was it said? Did what he did. What the hell did I just say? What the hell did I just say? That wrong Japanese man did that when he did the deed. Hold it. Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker. We saw him. It was the man in the dock. Without question, sir. Who the hell's the man in the dock? The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the torn mouth, the snub nose, everything. Any more insults you want to throw in? That's right, he looked down at the poor defenseless woman with those terrifying intense eyes. Then, suddenly he threw books on the pavement and ran away. I see. This is tough. They seem as though they're telling the truth here. Yeah, may I remind the court that this unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife. Now please continue. Yes, oh, he's out. He's out. He's conked. We ran straight over a course and then we went for help in a nearby police box. I think this one I might pick. Alright. But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you? You absolutely could. Us Londoners have exceptional eyesight. I'll have you know. Right. The light from the street lamps was more than enough. My husband already told you that the fog was already light, didn't he? Yes, and what of the fog? A famous fog across the globe, I believe. but it's an absolute menace for us, or to those of us who have to live with it, of course. Of course it is. It is. When it's thick, you can't even see the hand at the end of your own arm. Yes, alright. I'll take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about? The constant fog makes our eyes sharp, you see. That's why we can tell you for sure, certain, that was the little Japanese man. Can't we, darling? Poor guy. Poor Rolly. Huh? What? Ah. Yes, it was the accused, and no mistake. The mustache, the hunchback. Yeah, we heard that again. Snub nose. Unmistakable, sir. As far as this couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. It was Soseki-san they saw running away from the scene of the crime. Well, that's it, isn't it? That's the entire testimony. What do you think, Mr. Naohodo? Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Bede saw what they really saw. Mr. Natsume running away from the scene of Briar Road that day. Yes, I feel the same. So if that's true, where does it leave us? The members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony. Yeah, what do we do? If Kazuma-sama were here? What are you trying to say? I think he would try to find a contradiction somewhere else within that ceremony. Alright. If you could identify some other part of the testimony which appears to be contradicts the facts, you might be able to discredit them. Alright, to put it simply, you must focus on finding a discrepancy in these statements somewhere. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial may reach an early and unfavorable conclusion. Oh, why do I always seem to be so against it? Two silhouettes.
Hold it!
Whoops, I pressed the wrong button. I was meant to go back on the statement.
Hold it!
Might as well go for the fourth statement. And then the second statement. Yeah. Alright, was it your husband who went to fetch help? No, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am a proud wife of one after all. Is that alright, my darling? Huh? What? Ah, yes, that's right. I asked Mr. B to go. I was off duty by that point. But a Bobby's never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene. Alright, very laudable, Mr. B. Preserving the scene of the crime is a task of considerable importance. That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box. Oh. Forgive my... yeah, but what do you mean exactly by the right police box? Where is it, actually? Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat. So I told Patricia the way to the police box for the beat. The incident fell under so she could go and report it. I ran them quickly as I could and asked for help from the Bobby on duty. There's nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together, you know? And thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of two model citizens. Oh, please. You're making us blush, isn't he, darling? Alright, what Patricia said, sir. He's out. Let's move on, shall we? Alright, let's go to number 2.
Hold it!
Two silhouettes. That's right, they were coming towards us, walking up Briar Road in the opposite direction. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that doesn't look like him. Yeah, that's the plump person. It does sound exactly like the victim is pictured in the print, like Mr. Natsume. Is he that tall? Or maybe she's just short. Are you certain that at the time there was nobody else nearby? Yes, quite certain it was dark, but there were street lamps on the road. There wasn't nobody else around at all. Is that right, my darling? Huh? What? Ah, yes. That's right, of course. There was a light fog on the ground. The Rye Road is dead straight. You could silly see a faint long way down the pavement. And then there's the street lighting as well. I don't see any other pedestrian. Alright, before sleep takes a firm hold, your answer please, Mr. Bede. Are you quite sure of what you just said? Yes, sir. As a cop who spends all day every day while keeping watch on the streets, I swear to it, sir. And man, Patricia, look at those eyes. I'm sure as my love for Patricia is true. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. He's still maintaining there was no one else around other than the victim and the attacker. It's starting to seem like that must be really how it happened. It's beginning to seem like there's nowhere to run. Well, that didn't stop Mr. Natsume, didn't it? He fled the scene all too convincingly. Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident now. What happened in the crucial moments followed? I don't see the contradiction. I'll go for the last one.
Hold it!
You're trying to change after your work, you say? Are you a member of the police, Mr. B? Or Mrs. B? Oh no, sadly not. It's a job for strapping young men only. Women and children in the elderly can't even apply. Damn. Well, I think you could probably see why children in the elderly couldn't do the job, can you? I think Rolly looks ever so handsome in his uniform. It suits you down the ground, doesn't it, darling? Huh? What? Yeah, I just finished my bead. And I were heading down the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there. Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy. Oh no, Rolly. I much prefer you in a uniform. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes. Oh, that's an interesting statement. It doesn't seem healthy. Kindly adhere to the point. You were going for a meal after you had finished your bead for the day, correct? That's right, sir. Yes, although I was fit to drop, to be honest, after spending the whole day on my feet. Policing is my life. As long as I'm proud owner of this, I serve my city and my queen to the end. What is that? What's that now? My warrant card, sir, prove that I'm a London copper. It has the noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to us all policemen. They swore to patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace for the common man. Sir! And for such a noble cause, I cover 20 miles every single day without fail and without a grumble. Because I know that the plodding of my boots is all Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure. So, fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it, then. Sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. Bede puts up a lot being married to a bobby like me. I want to show my dear wife how much I care. Oh, Pan. Oh, Rolly. Oh, what a charming couple. Their young love is such a joy to behold. For little, over the top perhaps. How old are these guys actually? 21 and 23. They're pretty young to be marrying. It's just like straight out of uni. Mr. Larsa, can I ask you something? Yeah, this is it for all the pressing. Of course, what is it? Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we told you, so... It seems like you don't believe our testimony, is that right? Is it? Well, out with it. What? No. Oh no, it's really not that at all. My husband's a policeman, remember? I know what I saw. And I know what I saw. I remember every little detail. Everything like... Oh, I know. What about the books the man dropped? I could tell you the names of every single one. Ah. One, and you dare question how reliable my testimony is? Well, pray tell. That will do, Miss Speed. No, it won't do at all. That Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. Even if I decide to forgive him for assaulting us, don't think for a minute I really will. I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please, put your husband's fist down. Perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Mrs. Speed. Alright, hold on a sec. I'm gonna take a sip. Alright, 4 books? Excuse me. It doesn't matter, he got 3. Let's save, actually, just in case. I'm pretty sure that's the answer. 4 books? He dropped 3.
Hold it!
Oh, we'll see. Wait. We'll see here. Yes, we know they were books dropped at the scene of the crime, as you say. Those purchased by the accused at the nearby second-hand bookshop. Will she name it, actually? After I've been at the police box for help, I decided to have a good look around the area for good measure. I'm a proud policeman's wife, after all. I did it for Rolly. And what was your husband doing at the time? Oh, he was laying face down in the snow, getting some well-deserved rest. He works ever so hard, you know, ever so hard. Don't you, my darling? Interesting way of guarding the scene of the crime. Well, Mrs. Bede, seeing as you regaled the cord with your powers of recollection, recount the titles of the books you reserved at the scene. Here we go. I'll be happy to, now you are all listening. There was the picture of Monsieur Somebody or something, and what's the earnings. And there was a meal for someone. And the last one was definitely the thingamagummy something. You see? Yeah, that isn't good. Yes, I see the 1 or 2 holes in your memory. Oh well, they were along the lines, I'm quite sure. Yeah, there were indeed books found at the scene with titles along the lines as you put it. What did I tell you? So, I think a very... Alright. Is she gay? Oh, anyone who... Whoa! Anyone who upsets my Patricia will have me to answer to. Whoa, he looks pissed. Then he goes back drowsy. Terrifying. Yes, she really is. So that's it. That's the entire testament. What do you think? Alright, yeah, I've seen this. I found the contradiction. It's these 4 books she was talking about. But what do we present here? I guess we present this.
Objection!
So, you're saying that there were 4 books? That's right, I remember all of them. A picture of Monsieur Somebody, What's It Yearnings, A Meal for Someone, and the Thimagummy something. Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Bean. But there is a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours. Oh no, what flaw? Simply that, at the scene of the crime, there were only 3 books, not 4. What? Have a good look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. Yeah, somebody took it. As you clearly see, there are only 3 books. But no, that can't be. I saw them. Oh, I know what it is. Yes, you can't fool me. Sorry? That's the big old lump of a dead body. At least so large, your corpse is blocking the view of the 4th book. That's we said that's all? That's... Yeah, that's all. Let's at least try to remember that the poor woman isn't dead, even if we're salting her size. No, I'm sorry, Mrs. Bean. But Mr. Natsume couldn't have not possibly dropped the 4 books you described. Why not? Yeah, fascinating. And from your shared tone, something you could readily substantiate with evidence, I presume. Alright, evidence. Yeah, I got the evidence. Alright, I know this so good. I don't need to save it.
Take that!
Book receipt. The evidence is right here. In the form of this bookshop receipt. From your books? Yes, this receipt details Mr. Natsume's purchases that day. But as you can see, the only 3 books are listed. Only 3 books are listed. No. Therefore, Mr. Natsume would have only dropped 3 books at the scene of the crime. Which means that your powers of observation, madame, cannot be relied upon. So it cannot be denied that though you say it was the defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken. Oh no, 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 no! No, no!
Objection!
Alright, what you got, Baroque? It's painfully evident That is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Nipponese friend. Alright. Tell us what's the contradiction here. And let me put on auto as I adjust myself. Sees right through me. But your plan has somewhat recoiled against you. It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. To the policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony in every respect. A total of 4 books were definitely found. Alright, but what about the photographic print? It only shows 3 books. Oh, just telling me it was on. Alright, here it comes. Allow me to present another, one that shows the victim's hand. The Lion's Pride. It's the 4th book. Wait, it's been bid. As you observe, the 4th book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso. No. No. Oh dear. Order, order. There, you see? Look at that. Look. Yes, I see. It's just like I said, isn't it, my darling? Yes, sir. Patricia's always right, sir. Let's study the receipt for the books purchased by the accused on the day in question. Oh, no. Mrs. B, the tiles once again, if you please. Oh, yes, of course. The picture of Monsieur somebody or other. The picture of Monsieur Lecoq. What's it? Or Lecoq. Cadbury's earnings, yeah. A meal for someone. A meal for Gabriel. Gabovoy. As a card just here, the witness remembers book tiles falsely. Wait, she has one more book? Did you hear that, Rowley? The gentleman paid me a compliment. Yes, sir. Flawlessly, sir. Patricia is flawless. But there are only 3 books on the receipt, and Mrs. Bede mentioned 4. There's nothing surprising about that. What's the 4th one? Clearly the 4th book is which is shown in the photographic print. I'm sorry, counsel, but does that not seem odd? Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt? It's not odd at all, my lord. That's her book. The 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim. The victim was holding her own book. I wonder, what became of that 4th book? Yo, we just had something... The thing is, the Alliance Pride is the book that Mr. Gary, Deb burned. His book, that book was burnt. Alright. Let's continue on. So we've got the photograph and the book, I assume. Prosecution rests. I have nothing further to add. What? You seem surprised, my learned friend. But your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spurious longer route to the accused lodgings that you tried to establish in your summation examination, and the attempt discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination. Futile. I walked right into this, didn't I? You see, everything we said is true. Is that right, my darling? Yes, Pad, marry me, Pan. So, perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions? Should the court waste any more time on this Nipponese travesty? Or is it the decision you have to make all too pound already? You have heard all of the witnesses and seen all of the evidence. This trial has run its course. So now, hold on, I'm afraid we're in a terrible, precarious position. I know, but if I fight back in the wrong way now, I could very well just make matters worse. I think I'm going to raise an objection here, but we'll save it. We've hit the 2-hour mark. I should stop, but We'll continue on. I'm going to raise the objection.
Objection.
I'm not done yet. No, my learned friend, it's not over. It's over. The last examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. The die has been cast. There is no room for debate. It might be over as far as you're concerned, but... Alright, whoa. If you've got some evidence, let's take a look. The lion's pride is burned. Oh, look at this. The book has been badly burned. You're right. You've never been able to read it in this state, especially not the latter pages. What terrible... Oh, I think she's the maid, Olive Green. But the wife is taking over. I get it now. Why does that seem to raise a red flag with me? Yeah, here we go. Alright, I can't think of what to say. If I may, Lord Van Zeeks. It seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point. Huh. The insignificant little Eastern Isle must be a lawless hellhole indeed. I don't know why I put hellhole. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this. Oh. I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you will have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable. Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry, Mr. Naruhodo. Huh. One of this land's great guiding principles is tolerance. So, the call will hear you, madame. Go ahead, Mr. Sato. Please. Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? What have we all overlooked in this matter that you see to fit to pursue further? Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished. I see. And you do believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you? Alright. Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think? It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings. Yeah, we gotta. Of course. I'm sure he asked you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. Yeah, I got it. Alright, I'm gonna save it just in case, but... Alright, the defense wishes to present evidence, my lord. Alright, go for it. Defense may present one further piece of evidence. Evidence that apparently offers a profound insight on this case and hitherto to be unlocked. This. The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. Fourth book found in the victim's hand.
Objection.
We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know. Yes, I'm afraid, counsel. I must concur with the prosecution on this matter. When I afford you this opportunity, you led the court to believe that the evidence in question contained a hitherto undiscovered clue. So I must insist that you elaborate, counsel. You will identify this clue at once. Do I make myself clear? Oh, yes, my lord. It's, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of evidence, which means you may as well be on the right track. Yes, I think you might be right. So, counsel, precisely where is the vital clue on this case? Alright, I got it. It's not too hard. Back here.
Got it.
I would ask the court to preserve the back of the book in question. Back? What do you... Goodness gracious. It's been burnt to a crisp. So we have to ask ourselves why the victim's clutching... why was the victim clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? It is undoubtedly an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Objection.
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend? Oh. Why to concede the point if it bears no relation to the case? There is nothing to discuss. So, should you wish to insert that this fire damage is some veiled clue as to what happened that day? Pray, do enlighten Zol. What truth does this charred book hide? Charred book? There's just one possibility here, which I can't bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance. I think I got it. Yeah. The person on the jury stand is not the maid. What are you suggesting that you insert on the damage? Alright, hold on. It's owner, right? Let's save it just in case. My lord, the burn on the back of the book reveals a startling truth about the book's owner. I beg your pardon, but we already know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand as she fell to the floor after all. It's obviously hers. The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand has yet to be answered. However, as to the questions of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has the very credible answers. Goodness gracious, how could you possibly... Very well, I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. But do remember, members of the jury may as well burn you if your little gamble goes awry. Defense response is very likely to influence the final outcome. Alright, who do you claim this owner is? It's, this guy.
Take that!
John Garadeb. The answer is that the book belongs to the couple who owned the house where the defendant had his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb, or Garadeb. Landlords? Even he's shocked. Whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but... Of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen of the jury duty in this courtroom today is none other than Mrs. Garadeb herself. Oh my goodness. Me? I think you must be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mr. Garadeb's wife. I'm his maid. Things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. Alright then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garadeb's house? I would never presume to know all the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
This is an outlandish behavior. This woman's the accused landlady, you say? You implicate this hardworking member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable. Alright, he's grasping at straws a bit here. This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's house. Alright, good lord. What sort of incident, counsel? A fire, my lord. Yeah, we're getting to it. Great to say it was, happened in the blink of an eye, you know. Alright, BRB. I'll let it play, but I'll BRB in.
Objection!
Alright, seems like I didn't miss anything, which is good. So they're just going through the incident. Alright.
Objection!
No, that's not the case. No, a thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident. There is no report of the Gary Deb's window pane being broken. That's quite true. We also saw no sign of broken glass when we visited the Gary Deb's household. But it is not conceivable that the window was open at the time in. Not even remotely. Let's not forget the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it. No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter. Makes sense. Not anyone in Britain would do that. No. That's not it. I believe it's a possibility, my lord. That's quite enough. That Mr. Gary Deb? Oh no, it's Mrs. Gary Deb. Well, I hope that everyone can see you for what you are now, you foreign little trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward. I mean coward. Really? Saying that a little tiff set the whole neighborhood alight, honestly. Implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake? How could you? There's nothing to do with this beastly case. Not at all. Not any of it. All you've done is sully our family's name. No, I assure you, that was never my intention. Dragging an upstanding citizen's name through the mud simply to divert attention from your failing defense. Oh, she just, alright. She just slapped the guy's arm because she tends to slap people. I should box her ears. That's what I should. It's only unforgivable. Too right. Here we go. How long have we sat here now listening to this Nipponese spouting out his fancy foreign theories? But think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could possibly have stabbed the victim is the little hunchback with the mustache, and he ran away from the scene too. Is he a hunchback? Why everyone calls him hunchback? He's not hunchbacked, right? It's true. Then we get a picture and he's like really caveman Neanderthal style. Hunched. Looking like not the what's his name? The guy from Notre Dame, bro. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. What is your position, Lord Van Zeeks? In truth, my lord, I feel these have been unnecessary protracted proceedings. Then, one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage. Makes sense for wine? No, wait. The mystery of the fourth book still has been... Damn, he's got the foot out. Watch out, he's serious. If books are your predilection, my learned friend, study them on your own time. What? No forgive the discourtesy this time. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now state your individual decision regarding the defendant's yeah.
Guilty!
Oh, is it guilty again? Oh, just how we...
Guilty.
Alright, is it gonna be a...
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty!
Yeah, it's gonna be another... Alright, this is new now. I was thinking, it's like, are we gonna do another... Oh, is this GG's? Thank you for the unambiguous response. That's twice now. It's over. Ms. Nahado, don't give up. Mrs. Ado. Yeah, summation, examination. You're not suggesting. Of course, the defense has the right to another summation at this point. You can still convince the jurors. Alright, I'm ready. Alright, I'll do this part, the summation part here, and then we'll call it a day. Alright, you believe you still have tricks up your sleeve. I didn't intend to trick anybody. I intend to uncover the truth. There's no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined. Oh, is it over? Oh, no. We're going for it. Oh, no, we're going for it. Alright, call it a day. Call it a day now. Ended right here. Yeah, we could wrap things up here. Yeah, let's save it. Might as well, number 10. All right. And end it right here. Quest for further summation examination. All right. All right, let's just end it right there. Save. Might as well, right? To this place. Makes sense? All right, so that's it for Great Ace Attorney. A good session all around. I'm glad I got back to it. Well, I was dying to get back into it. And yeah, so the next 2 days, in 2 days time, the next part, we're going to do the summation examination. And I hope we have a full life, but I don't think we do. So a lot more saving has to be done, unfortunately. But yeah, that's it for this session. Hope you guys enjoy it. And I'll see you guys soon. I'm going to catch you guys later.